Hey there, everyone. Okay, so tonight the San Francisco Giants meet up with the LA Dodgers, and they're going to be here in Los Angeles. So I'm super excited about that. But here's a little bit of trivia. I am wearing a New York Mets t-shirt today. Some of you know I lived in New York for 5 years, and so I went to the opening day game. Oh my goodness, in like 2017 or I can't remember what year. I think it was 2017. So here's a bit of trivia that you may or may not already know. So the New York Mets get their colors from, the orange comes from the New York Giants, now known as the San Francisco Giants. And they get their blue from, you guessed it, the Brooklyn Dodgers, now known as the LA Dodgers. So the Giants and Dodgers are, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the largest or the longest standing rivalry game in the history of baseball, if I'm not mistaken. But I do know that the colors come from the Giants and the Dodgers. Here's another piece of trivia. If you go to the new stadium, Citi Field, New York Mets, where New York Mets play, the old stadium is known as Shea Stadium. And Shea Stadium, if you look in the parking lot of Citi Field, you'll find brass plaques where the old bases are. I think all 4 bases, home plate, first, second, and third base, are their brass plaques in the parking lot where the bases were actually, where they actually sat in Shea Stadium. So there's a bit of trivia. Now, what does this have to do with college admissions? So I'm a sports fan. I love stuff like that, and I love finding out little stories and like little trivia about sports, about sports teams, like why Boise State has a blue field, or whatever, it's the only blue field, and if you want a blue field, you have to go through them to get permission to have a blue field. There's another little piece of trivia. So in terms of college admissions, when students are writing their essays about why this college, or like why they want to go to that college versus any other college in the country, I always like to, of course you want to state absolutely why you fell in love with that school and maybe how you got introduced to it, or if you knew an alum or whatever. But if you know a little bit of trivia about that, like the Michigan Stadium is known as the Big House. Like if you just know a little bit of trivia, it really shows that you've gone out of your way and you really do love that school, or you have sort of this like knack for knowing these little pieces of trivia. So it'll add some levity to your application, because usually the application is so serious and you're really trying to get in and you're trying to put your best foot forward. But you want to show personality as well. So if you love sports, add a little sports piece of trivia. If you love, if you have a different passion, I have someone else who is writing about something really super cute. I won't talk about it now because he's actually in the process now. I'm trying to think of another. But if you like intramural sports or something, I have a student who's coming up in a few years. She loves to tap dance. It's totally unique and different. So if you know that you can, there's a professor there that teaches tap dance or something specific and unique to you and about that school, that is always going to be super, super cool. So just wanted to share a little piece of trivia and why and how that has to do anything with college admissions. But when you can make it fun and specific to you because of your personality, it's just going to add so much more to that person who's reading it on the other end. Okay? That's all I have for you for now. So go Dodgers, I have to say that. But Giants Stadium is one of my favorites, and Mets is because I used to live there. So all 3 teams, love them. All right, bye for now.